Okay. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Front Row Friday. We have an amazing guest with us today. We have Ashley Novak of Glam on Demand and Polished and Prosperous. So,
Hi.
welcome today, Ashley. We're super excited to have you.
Thanks so much. I
Of,
appreciate you
of
having me.
course. Yeah, we're really excited to hear all things you and your businesses and just basically get to the bottom of your story and share it with everybody so they can learn more about you and your businesses.
Awesome.
So, why don't you tell us a little bit about where your businesses are located, anything to do with each business, kind of give us a quick description of, what you're doing and all the things that can help us
Yeah.
with that. Yeah,
Sure, I'll go like into a little story time too at the same
that
time
I
as I
love
kind
that.
of yes. So when I was younger, about 16 years ago ish, I had actually decided that I didn't want to do retail management anymore and went to cosmetology school. I was like on a whim,
Okay.
let's see if I like it. And when I graduated, I actually started doing hair and makeup for a senior portrait with a photographer friend of mine. At that point in time, makeup wasn't as popular as it is today. And everybody, when I put it on social media, everybody's like, oh my gosh, where'd you find a makeup artist? This and that. What are your rates? And of course, at that point of my business, I had not even considered
Right.
what are my rates? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so my mom's always been an entrepreneur, and I actually decided to go ahead and just create my own business with, her pushing me to do so. So
That's
that was pretty
awesome.
awesome. I
Yeah.
created Glam on Demand. So we have been in business 15 years,
Wow.
and yeah, right
That's
after beauty
incredible.
school, I just went right into it. It
Yeah.
started doing on-site hair and makeup for photo shoots, bridal, special occasion, anything that you can possibly think of needing a makeup artist for. But I actually decided I lived in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, in Chambersburg,
Oh
and
yeah.
I was like, I need to get to a bigger city if this is ever going to be successful. So I decided to just on a whim move to the greater Philadelphia
Oh,
area
look at you.
and
Well, that's a
grow the
big move.
business. I know. And I knew one person here. So it's
Oh,
not even like I
that's
had like
amazing.
any connections to the area. I'm like, nope, we're just going there. So I came up here and of course to sustain life, right? I had to
Yeah,
get a job. So I
of
was like,
course.
let me just go ahead and do retail management. I know it. I started working in a salon only beauty supply and I
Okay.
worked there for years. And then I found out that I had lupus and I
Gosh.
actually needed the health insurance. So then it kind of delayed what I came up here to do with the business. It kind of just, set me back a little
Yeah.
bit. And I actually got what I thought to be my dream job at that time. And it was at that time with Benefit Cosmetics. I was a corporate trainer.
Oh
So
wow.
I would go
Okay.
into also Sephora, Macy's and train their staff how to
Oh,
sell
that's
the
really cool.
brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. And throughout the 10 years that I was there, like things had changed, right? COVID happened. We all know that story. I can't still
Oh
give
yeah.
like 6 years ago, but ultimately it just changed how retail in general
Yeah.
works. And it just no longer was serving me. And so I really was like, okay, you need to get back to what you came here to do. You came up here not to work this corporate job and
Right.
continue this thing. You came to do this other thing. While in that corporate job, though, it's not like Glam on Demand was just sitting on the back burner. I would do some jobs myself, but I built a team.
Oh, that's
And the great
amazing.
thing about building that team is like in the beauty industry and even just I feel like entrepreneurship in general,
Yeah.
we're alone. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And I wanted to build like that team environment where everybody felt like we had someone else.
Someone, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
to
like
have
just
your back
someone.
or just to listen to you.
Can we just have a friend?
Right.
It's hard to make friends as adults.
Yes.
And so ultimately, I really wanted that team environment, not the catty girl club, but
Yes.
like a nice team environment. And so I had built this thing over the years, and as pretty much I think every entrepreneur, we don't realize what we built until it's like later you're looking back on it, like
Yeah.
wow, I really did the thing and just didn't
Right.
even realize
I
I
mean,
was
how
doing it.
often do you like stop and think about all the accomplishments? Like you don't.
Never.
You just keep your head down and you're just like trucking along.
Done.
Yeah.
Check.
Checking off the
Check.
boxes. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's a little bit behind Glam on Demand. But as I started to decide, like, okay, you need to do what you came here to do. You can grow this business even more. You can grow this team. You can do more. I started to see the same problems in a lot of entrepreneurs and beauty professionals in general and
Mhm.
founders. Everybody's so talented at what they do, but they're buried in admin work. You know
Oh,
what I mean? Like we're
yes.
just like literally back end chaos.
Yes.
And the only way that I was able to grow the business while having a full-time corporate job was the fact that my operations on the back end were just like so structured.
Yeah.
I launched Polished and Prosperous to help other small business owners do the
So
same
smart.
thing. Um, so I say all that to say, like, I just built this other thing that not only do I have some joy in doing, but
Yeah.
also, have the knowledge of. And I joke around and say it's because I'm a Gemini. Like, I have my creative and then I have my like
Yeah.
organized brain. But yeah, I was driven by that same goal of like making business sustainable while not being tied to physical presence,
Yeah.
right? So like it's so hard as an entrepreneur to not only get to do the thing that you love to do, but still get all that other crap done that we have
Right.
to get done.
Right.
So that's a little bit of I know it was like a story, but it kind
No,
of
I
puts
love it.
everything together as to why both businesses and like
Well,
kind
I
of their
love how
together.
it like all ties together and put you right in the place where you needed to be for your businesses to like just thrive. Because
Yeah.
it seems like, I mean, I just love the fact that you like decided to take this huge leap of faith and like move from one town to all the way to the Philadelphia region and just, I mean, look how amazing you're doing. And
Thank you.
you're helping so many people along the way. Because, I mean, honestly, as an entrepreneur myself, like the back end stuff, like I love my companies. I love what I do. Do I want to sit and do any of that stuff behind the scenes? Absolutely not.
No.
And so having someone like you and Polished and Prosperous to like guide entrepreneurs into the, how do I say, less overwhelming and stressed version of your businesses has to
Exactly.
be like just such an amazing thing for so many people. So
For
that's
sure.
that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love that story.
Yeah. I always love
Um,
to tell it like that just because it makes more
well,
sense that way,
well,
right?
yeah. I mean, it definitely shows where you started to where you've come and all of the things that you've had to overcome, right, to get to
Yeah.
this point. So, I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, so tell us a little bit about any, I mean, I know you got into your story with some of the health
Excuse
struggles
me.
that you had and things like that, and overcoming those to build the business. So let's dive in a little bit more. So why of, and if you don't mind going a little
Yeah.
bit deeper,
No, I
is just
don't.
yeah, like what really inspired you to start? Like where did this passion for entrepreneurship? I know you said mom was an entrepreneur, so that's
Yeah.
amazing. But yeah, dive if you don't mind diving into it and
Not at
sharing
all.
that.
I'm definitely driven by that goal of like not being a business, not being tied to physical presence and still
Yeah,
being able to sustain a life.
yeah,
I don't think we were put here to just work our lives
no,
away. And so I do want to not live to work, but work to live kind of
yeah,
thing. And so
right.
I think that that's like number one. Number two, a lot of past trauma. I didn't have an easy childhood. I did, we didn't have a lot of money growing up either. And so I just never wanted to, if I ever had kids, which I have decided not to, but
Yeah,
if I ever had kids, like I didn't want them to go through the same things. I
right.
didn't want them to have to struggle. I wanted something that was getting built that was true to me and also gave me the autonomy. I think that coming from some of like the trauma and the,
Mhm.
money insecurity things and things like that throughout my life, like I've really wanted to make sure I'm never going to feel that way again,
Yeah,
And so not only does it come from some of the trauma, but then as I went through life and found things that I enjoyed, like I was like, this is what it's about, right? It's not about um I'm gonna screw it up again.
yeah,
But living to work, it's working to
right.
live. You know what I mean? So honestly, it's really just finding something that I really enjoy doing that helps other people, because that's another part of business in general. I want to be able to give back to other people that
Right,
maybe went through similar struggles, or I want to be able to give back to the community
right.
because that's what it's about too, right? That community that we build in and outside of work.
Yes,
And then I just don't want a business that needs me for every task, right? Like we want something that we can be out there in the world enjoying the beach, the this, the that,
yes,
and I can work from wherever that might be,
right.
So I think that's a
No,
little
that's
bit of the
amazing.
motivation and the why behind it.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that
Yeah.
because I think so many people, myself included, go through a lot of, there's traumas in every person's life, I think, in one sense or another. And obviously, some are deeper than others. And just overcoming those and being able to build something not only that helps you heal. I always say that my businesses helped me heal over the last few years. So I get it. It's like you wanted to build something not only to heal you and to help you through your journey, but I don't know, there maybe you feel the same way, but there's something to be said for giving back to others that also helps that healing process in you. It's amazing. I really appreciate you
Important.
sharing that story.
Of
Yeah, I
course.
mean, it really
Yeah.
makes you who you are, and I feel like it's makes your business personally, when I hear someone's story, like I feel more connected to that business and I feel that person. And then I feel like I just want to dive in and work with you because I just feel like you're doing so much good in the world. And it's like nice to have that connection.
Yeah, well, and I appreciate the platform too. But talking to other business owner friends and things like
Yeah.
that, they're like, you really need to tell people these things
Yeah.
because they may feel because they're in a similar situation or they've had similar situations happen to them or with them or however you want to phrase it,
Hmm.
they don't necessarily feel capable and they really
Right.
need to know that it is possible for them too. So,
Absolutely. I mean, just
I
building
just want to
confidence.
inspire. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. I love that word inspire because that's what you're doing. And like you said, someone watching this might feel more inspired to start this business, or I really want to take this leap of faith. And well, if Ashley did it and she's so successful and thriving in life, I can do it too. And
for
I
sure.
just love that. If the more people do that, I just think more, I like to say women in general will
Yeah,
take those steps, to build the
agreed.
confidence and do it. So yeah, that's amazing. I appreciate you sharing that story with us. So tell us a little bit more. We'll shift gears a little bit
Okay.
more about any celebrations that are happening in your businesses. So
Yes, I have a few. Sorry, I'm like looking at my notes because I didn't
no,
want to forget
by all
anything.
means. Yeah.
So my first one is Glam on Demand is 15 this year. So
Yay.
I have never done like a grand opening, a like, anniversary party. I've never done any
Yeah.
of that. And going back to like we've just checked off the list, right? And we turn
Right.
around and all of a sudden it's been 15 years.
Right.
So I decided that we are gonna throw a 15-year anniversary party.
Yay. I love that.
My event planner is going to kill me because I don't remember the date off the top of my head. But it's on our social media if you want to check it out. But
Okay.
it is in
Yes.
November of this year. And ultimately, we're just going to celebrate. We want people to come in. It is going to be at our studio space as of today.
Okay.
We're still exploring some options, but I think that's where we're going to land.
Yeah.
But we're just going to have people come in and
I love
just
that.
not only see the space, but get to just like chat and have a good time and just celebrate with us. We
Yeah,
are
you
going to
have
do
to.
like a little ribbon cutting
Yep.
beforehand with the local chamber and things like
Yep.
that. So it's going to be fun because like
That's
again,
so
we've never done
awesome.
anything like that for Glam.
Well, what you absolutely should do. 15
Yeah.
years, that's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah. Yes. Another two things well, one thing that I'm working on and one thing that I just launched. So
Okay.
for Polished and Prosperous,
Mhm.
because we are still growing and building that business, I created an operations audit workbook. And
Okay.
so it's $27. It's on our bio
I
and
love that.
super affordable, but it also like not only at the end does it give you like a score of each of the sections, but it also gives you a framework. So if you don't necessarily think polished is for you, or it's not necessarily what you're
Mhm.
looking for at this time, or too big of an investment, you at least can pay $27 to get a
Yeah.
little bit of a guideline on like where can I start, where do I
Yeah.
need to start putting some money
Right.
or put money aside for. So we do have that, and then I'm also working on a networking workbook.
Oh,
It's not
I like.
launched yet, but again, super low cost, and it's really about how to build true relationships with people
Okay.
versus just, again, transactional stuff
Yeah.
that it's like, oh, here's my business card, and
I
then
was
you
just gonna
never
say,
talk to them again.
I love that. I mean, so many great things coming up. And that's so important because that's another thing, building confidence for people to step into those rooms that they wouldn't necessarily be in, is huge. I know for me, when I was first starting my journey, it was like, okay, I have to do this thing. I have to go out and talk to all these people.
Hmm.
But am I confident enough to do that? So, you kind of have to force yourself, but to have you behind them and giving them the framework to be able to handle that situation,
Hmm.
I think that's amazing because so
It's
many
gonna be
people could
great.
use that. Yeah. So tell us
Oh yeah.
where we can find all these amazing things that are
My
happening.
gosh,
Where
so
should we
many,
go?
right?
Yeah,
So many things.
I love it.
So definitely Instagram, of course,
Okay,
at Glam on Demand, at Polished and Prosperous for both the businesses, and at the Ashley Novak if you'd like to follow me.
perfect.
And all of our websites are the same as well. So glamondemand.com, polishedandprosperous.com, and then I have ashleynovakbeauty.com as well.
Awesome. And don't worry, folks, we will make sure that we are
So many.
linking all of the things. So you will be able to just click a link and find her.
Yeah.
Also, I always like to ask this question because I feel like it's like a super important thing to helping people.
Yes.
What is your advice to any local business owner that's stepping into their first small business journey or even businesses that are already established that might feel stuck?
Yes, for sure. I think first thing is when you start a business, making sure the operations and back end
Mhm.
are in place because the minute that you take off, like you could like, take off tomorrow. And
Right.
then if you don't have that structure in place, you're gonna feel like you're flailing.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people wait for that part. It's like, oh, I can just put these together with Google Forms. I can do this, I can do that.
Yep.
No, like I think that you're too far behind at that point. Now you've
Hmm.
taken off and now you have to fix everything versus
Right.
just building it right from the first place. Shameless plug, the operations audit
Yep.
workbook that I was telling you
Yes.
about.
Love it.
And then it doesn't need to be perfect. Just get it out there, right?
Yes.
I need to take my own advice though, because I'm terrible at social media. So I need to just record the video and just put
Just
it out there.
throw it out.
But I really think that that is so true because you're going to change it. I think that that's the thing. Like I've learned along the way is I can't wait for it to be perfect because I'm going to change it anyway.
Right. And things evolve, right? Like they
Yes.
just take off in different directions. You're like, all right, we're going this way today. So,
Yep.
yes.
Exactly.
No, that's amazing. I really appreciate you just sharing your story, sharing everything amazing with Glam on Demand and Polished and Prosperous, and all the awesome, awesome things that are available coming up. Excuse me. Really excited for these workbooks that you're putting out there.
Good.
So, people, you need to make sure you get them. And if you are in getting on your small business journey, for sure, I can tell you from experience, I wish I had your journal or your networking and your behind the scenes workbooks 3 years ago. Would have
Yeah,
really helped. So I'm
for sure.
excited that you're doing that. No. Yeah, well, this has been absolutely amazing, Ashley. I really appreciate you sharing all this. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with any listeners that are um, following along or on social media that you want to share with them?
No, I just want to thank you guys for having this platform and
Yeah,
inviting me on. It was really appreciated. I
yeah.
feel like I covered a lot. So
Yeah. No,
thank
and
you
I
again.
appreciate you covering all that because I feel like anyone watching is definitely going to feel inspired after this Front Row Friday episode. So,
Awesome. I'm
yeah,
glad.
awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And Ashley, we're excited to see where your journey leads you next.
Thank you so much. Have a good
Of
day.
course.